Dear students, I am Heba Haq, lecturer of physics from Government Degree College, Maleer Kent, Karachi. In this lecture, I will explain traveling waves, which is a topic from chapter number 8, first year Sindh textbook. In this lecture, I shall explain what is wave. After that, what are mechanical waves? We know that we have two types of mechanical waves, transverse waves and longitudinal waves. So I will explain transverse traveling wave in this lecture. So after explaining what are mechanical waves, I will explain what are transverse waves. And if we talk about transverse wave, I will discuss the generation of a wave pulse and some related definitions. And in transverse traveling wave, I will explain the analytical treatment of traveling waves and energy in traveling waves. Okay, so let's start with wave. A wave is an oscillation accomplished by a transfer of energy that travels through medium, or it is a mechanism which is used to transfer energy from one place to another place. Wave is classified into three categories. We have mechanical wave, electromagnetic wave, and matter wave. So this chapter is all about mechanical wave. I will focus on mechanical wave and neglect the remaining two. Okay, wave can also be classified according to the number of dimension, which means that according to the number of dimension in which wave propagate energy. Wave moving along the string or a spring are one-dimensional waves. So when energy is propagating through a spring medium or a string medium, it is a one-dimensional wave. Surface waves or ripples on water are two-dimensional waves, and sound waves or light waves traveling radially outward from a small source are three-dimensional waves. Okay, now let's talk about mechanical waves. Mechanical wave is a wave that is generated by the oscillation of matter. Mechanical wave travels through a deformable or elastic medium. When some portion of an elastic medium is displaced from its normal position and released, because of elastic properties of the medium, the disturbance propagates through the medium. On the microscopic level, such mechanical properties as the force between atoms are responsible for the propagation of mechanical waves. Mechanical waves are governed by Newton's law, and they can exist only within a material medium such as water, air, and rock. Now, transverse waves are one of the types of mechanical waves. These are those types of mechanical wave in which motion of a particle is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave itself. For example, when a string under tension is set oscillating back and forth at one end, the disturbance move along the string, but the string particles vibrate at right angle to the direction of propagation of the disturbance. Note that light waves are transverse wave, but they are not mechanical waves. So let's suppose we have a string whose one end is connected with a support, while from other end you are creating disturbance. So if you will uh, uh, move the one end up and down, the wave will propagate along x-axis, but the particle vibrates along y-axis as you are applying force vertically. So the particles are vibrating vertically, but the wave is propagating along x-axis. Okay, now let's talk about generation of a wave pulse. So first of all, we need to understand what is wave pulse. A single isolated disturbance traveling through a system is known as wave pulse. So consider a string whose one end is tied to a fixed support while the other end is held by the hand in a stretch position. The end is given a single up and down jerk, which in turn produces a hump or curve in a string. So hump is basically a curved area. You can see a camel back of a camel. So the shape of that is actually called hump. Or we can call it a curve. So this hump travel along the string forming a wave pulse. During the propagation of the wave pulse, the particles of the medium, which is a string, moves up and down in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave pulse. The shape of disturbed part of the string containing the wave pulse can be described mathematically by a wave function, so which is y is equals to f x t. So this shows that the function is depending upon x position and time t. So here we have a diagram in which one end of a string is fixed, while at the other end we are creating up and down jerk. So you can see that when the string is moved up and down, a curved or a hum is produced, and this hum will propagate along x-axis. And since the force is applying vertically, so the particles are of matter start vibrating vertically. So from this diagram you can see that wave is moving along x-axis, but particles are vibrating along y-axis. Now let's talk about some related definitions. First of all, wavelength. So wavelength is defined as the distance between two successive particles which are at exactly the same point in their path and are moving in the same direction. Such pair of particles are said to be in the phase, or it is a distance between a crust or a trough, or between two consecutive crust or two consecutive trough. Now wavefront is a line or section taken through an advancing wave in which all the particles are in the same phase. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of particle from its rest position, and then we have a crust and a trough. A crust is a point on the wave where the displacement of the medium is at a maximum, and trough is a point on the wave where the displacement of the medium is at minimum. So here we have a diagram. A point at which the displacement is at its maximum is known as crust. The point at which the displacement is at its minimum is known as trough. Maximum displacement is known as amplitude, and distance between two consecutive crust or two consecutive trough, or between crust and trough, is known as wavelength. And then we have a wavefront. Now, transverse traveling waves. Traveling waves are those type of waves in which positions of maximum and minimum amplitude travel through the medium. Analytical treatment of transverse traveling wave. In this topic, we are trying to find out the wave function that represents the traveling wave. So for that, consider an ideal string in which disturbance keeps its form as it travels, and fractional losses or other mean of energy dissipation must be negligible. The disturbance lie in xy plane and travel along x-axis. So here we have x and y axis, and a wave pulse, and we consider a particle p at time t is equals to 0. This particle lies at yp distance or height, and fx be the wave function describing this wave pulse. So we assume that this wave pulse is moving with speed v, and after some time the pulse has moved a distance of x is equals to vt. So here we have the initial position of a wave pulse in which particle p is at yp displacement, and after some time, let's suppose the particle traveled x is equals to vt distance, and we consider that the coordinate y indicate the transverse displacement of a particular point on the string, and it depends upon both position and time. So at t is equals to 0, y of x 0, where time is 0, is equals to f of x. where f is a function that represents the shape of a wave at time t. The wavefront is still described by the shape function, as we assume that the wave does not change its shape while propagating through the medium. So the function is a function at time t is equal to y of x, t is equals to fx prime. Now the relationship between the x prime coordinate in the two frame of references, x prime is equal to x minus vt, where x is the position of particle when time is taken 0, and after some time t it covers a distance of vt, so the final position of particle x prime is equal to x minus vt. So we just write the value of x prime in this equation. Y of x t is equal to fx minus vt. Now if x minus vt is constant, we differentiate this equation with respect to time, then we get dx upon dt minus v dt upon dt is equal to 0. The differentiation of constant is 0. Now this dt and this dt will cancel. We get dx minus dx upon dt minus v is equals to 0, or v is equals to dx upon dt. So this is the phase velocity. And if the wave is propagating in negative x direction, y of xt is equal to fx plus vt. The function yxt contains the complete description of the shape of the wave and its motion. Now, energy in traveling waves. All mechanical waves travel through a medium. They carry energy with them, and hence they are also called as carriers of energy. So, in order to drive the expression for the energy in traveling waves, I am considering a harmonic wave traveling along a string. The source of energy is some external agent at one end of the string, which does work in producing oscillation in the string. The wave moves a distance equal to one wavelength in a time period t, and after t the wave will repeat its motion. So if vy max is the maximum velocity of transverse wave and delta m is the mass of the string, so total energy is equal to half m delta m vy square maximum. If you recall my lecture on simple harmonic motion, I have explained you that when the velocity of an object executing simple harmonic motion is maximum, its total energy is equal to kinetic energy. As we all know that power is a rate of doing work, so to obtain power we just divide delta E by time period t. So power is equal to delta E upon t. By putting the value of delta E, we get half delta m vy square maximum upon capital T. Now in this equation, capital T is the time period, and we know that it is equal to 2 pi upon omega, where omega is the angular frequency. And if we talk about linear density, it is mass per unit length. So here we have considered the distance equal to lambda. So it is represented by mu. Mu will be equal to delta m upon lambda, and if we get the value of delta m, it is equal to mu lambda. And vy maximum square is equal to omega square into amplitude square, which is the maximum velocity for a simple harmonic oscillator. Now we just put the value of these three quantities in above equation. Power is equal to half delta m is equal to mu lambda, and then delta vy square max is equal to omega square amplitude square, and time period is equal to 2 pi upon omega, so 1 upon t will be omega upon 2 pi. Or we know that the product of wavelength and frequency is equal to speed, so wavelength will be equal to v upon frequency, and frequency is equal to omega upon 2 pi, so lambda will be equal to 2 pi nu upon omega. Now putting the value of lambda in above equation, power will be equal to half into mu into lambda 2 pi v upon omega into omega square into amplitude square into omega upon 2 pi. So this 2 pi will cancel, this omega will cancel. The final expression for the power is half mu into v into omega square into amplitude square. So from this expression we can say that power transmitted by harmonic wave produced in a string is directly proportional to the first one is the velocity of the wave, which is v, then square of the angular frequency omega, and the square of the amplitude a. Note that the linear density mu is constant, as mu is mass per unit length, so it will only change if the length of the string changes or the mass changes. So this is all about today's lecture. In today's lecture I explain what is wave, then what are mechanical waves, and I explain transverse traveling wave. So in next lecture I will explain transverse standing wave. So I end up my lecture on these words, that it does not matter how slow you can go as long as you do not stop. Thank you. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I will try my best to answer them. God bless you. Take care.